Hi everyone, my name is Victor and I am one of the authors of Technique.com. Today we're going to continue with our RHCSA 8 series and we're going to continue with network management in Linux explained with examples. In our previous videos, we've looked at a lot of things. We've looked at what network manager is, we've looked at what network services is, we've looked at the NIC configuration files and the important parameters there. We've looked at how to set a static IP address by directly editing the NIC configuration file. In today's video, we're going to look at how to set a static IP address in the Red Hat 8 system by using the nmcli utility. So for example, if you want to set the static IP address to be 192.168.170.211, if you want to set all these IP addresses, how do you go about it? Okay, the first step to take is to first of all set the IP address, right? So let's do that. nmcli connection, modify the connection name. All right, I'm supposed to explain the difference between a device and a connection. So a device is the NIC, that is the network interface card, and a connection is the properties you define on a NIC, right? So let's say, for example, you have IP addresses, the gateway, the IP, the DNS, all of these are properties that is always defined on a connection, and a connection is always defined on a NIC. So let me just quickly show you the NIC configuration file. So you can see here, you can see a name, which means the connection name, and you can see a device, which means a connection device. So the reason why you always have connections is because you can have more than one connection on a network device, right? I can decide to create another connection called maybe connection Victor, all right? I can also decide to create another connection called connection Technique, right? All of these connections can be created on one device, and the reason is because if you want more than one IP address on a NIC, right, you can just create a connection. You define that IP address on the connection, and the connection is being attached to a NIC. So whenever we're defining an IP address, we are defining it on the connection, right? And the connection has to be attached to a NIC. And a connection, like in this case, a connection, the name of the connection is the same name as the NIC. As we go on, I'll show you how to create a connection and assign a different IP on a connection, and you will assign that connection on this NIC. Okay, so to create the static IP address, right, using the nmcli, so you're going to use the command nmcli connection modify. Oops, sorry about that. Modify ENS directory, which is the connection name, followed by the IP address, IPv4 dot addresses, then followed by the IP, which is 192.168.170.211. I'm going to let me just use 212. I think I might have a 211 connection existing, right? And followed by the prefix, which is the subnet mask. So you can see that I have edited this connection. So the next step to take is to set the gateway. Well, I forgot something. I was supposed to do the backup of this because I might need this later. So let me just quickly take the backup. Okay, so let's set the gateway now. So the IP for the gateway is .0, and we're going to change this to gateway. Oops, the IP for the gateway is actually .10. All right, let's just edit that. So the next step is to set the DNS, and the DNS is .0. So I'm just going to change this to DNS. The next step is to set the boot proto to be manual. All right. So let me just change this to the manual. So this means that I don't want my IP to be gotten from the DHCP server. All right. So the next step is to restart the network manager, or you restart the network interface. So let's check the script again. So you can see that all these IP addresses have been defined on the NIC, right? And the boot proto is set to none. It's not DHCP anymore. Let's check from here. It's not changed here. So let's restart the network interface. Oops. So because I'm logged in via the SSH session, so I've lost connection. All right. So I'm just going to go to my console and then bring up the network, the connection, and I'm going to try and log in again. Now I'm on the console. So let me bring the connection down and bring it up again, because I remember in the first command I made a mistake while I was spelling nmcli. All right, so let me bring it up again. Okay, so let's check the IP address. So you can see that this has now changed to 192.168.170.212. All right. So you can tell now which is easier, either using nmcli or directly editing the network configuration file, right? So that's why most administrators don't like the nmcli command, because they feel it's tedious. So that's why I had to set the IPs one by one. Like I had to set the the IP address followed by the gateway followed by the DNS. I can just write a very long command to set all of them all at once, right? But just to simplify things, I had to do it one by one. I remember I backed up the configuration, the NIC configuration file, right? So before I backed it up, I I had already edited the IP address here, so I'm just going to delete it. Okay. So in case you want to return your backup to DHCP, you can always return it back. All right. So thank you for watching. And in the next lesson, we're going to look at how to set a static IP address using the nmcui utility. Thank you. All right. So bye for now, and please subscribe to this channel.